Hello and namaste to all of you. This is Javin Chalu Singh from Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnosis from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today I'll be discussing with you about various casts and crystals which are found upon stool examinations. Various casts and crystals that are found, one of them can be fatty acid crystals. Secondly, there can be calcium oxalate crystals. Thirdly, there can be triple phosphate crystals. Next, there can be charcoal laden crystals. Then there can be hematoidin crystals, and there can be crystals of drugs. All these crystals are specific in their shape. You need to carefully look for these crystals and decide. Depending upon the shape, you can decide whether what the crystals are depending on the features of your crystals. So, charcoal little laden crystals, first of all, these are slender and pointed at both the ends, and these are hexagonal bipyramidal structures which are localized in primary granules of cytoplasm of eosinophils and basophils. Evidence of parasitic infiltrate, example, in amoeba, ascaris, hookworm, fasciola. Diamond shape or whetstone shaped crystals are seen. So, normally colorless, stained purplish red by trichome. So, they vary in size and they can be as large as 50 micrometers in length, and they can be found in case of dysentery, malignant ulcers, and schistomatoses, etc. Now, nextly, these there can be hematoidin crystals. So these crystals have a characteristic ironless pigment derived from a hemoglobin and formed within the tissues of reticuloendothelial cells, but they are found extracellularly after 5 to 7 days in foci of previous hemorrhage. Now they occur as a refractile yellowish brown and orange red granules, and characteristically they are rhomboid plates arranged in a radial pattern, so called as hematoidin bursts. Nextly, there can be yeast and molds. So yeast are normally present, and excess can be seen in cases of AIDS, and molds, they are rare but may be seen in immunodeficiency conditions. Uh, Next, various parasites can be seen in your stool, obviously, and terminology that I use for parasites are your symbiosis, your commensalism, or one symbiote benefits, other than which are in which one is benefited and other is unaffected, and in mutualism where both symbionts they both get benefited, and then there is parasitism where one symbiont is benefited and other is damaged. So these were the terms which can be used for parasites, and the there are 1.3 billion people infected with Ascaris, and 300 million people who are infected with schistosomiasis, and 100 million new malaria cases can be found every year. And now protozoas, uh, firstly, there can be Entamoeba histolytica. So in trophozoite stage, they are identified by motility and presence of indigested RBCs, and shape, it keeps changing constantly, um, and it keeps changing changes position. So they'll be seen motile within your slide, so you can't trace the presence of that at one place. So you'll see moving parasites, of Entamoeba histolytica. So, and their size, it ranges from 18 to 40 micrometers, and average from about 20 to 20 average about 220 micrometer. Now, cytoplasm is divisible into two portions. So, nucleus will be spherical in shape, and RBCs, they appear yellowish green inside of endoplasm. Nucleus is not visible, but a faint outline may be present or detected outside. Now, endoplasm, it will show bluish or ground glass appearance, and eccentric nucleus with a karyosome or a small dot at the center will be surrounded by a clear halo nuclear membrane, and a line network having a spoke like a radial arrangement. Now, nextly, there can be pre-cystic stage. So in pre-cystic stage, size is small, that is from 10 to 20 micrometer, and shape can be round or slightly ovoid with blunt pseudopoidum, and they can be free from ingested RBCs and other materials, and nucleus can be large, and it will retain the characteristic of trophozoite. Now, nextly, in your cystic stage, sizes 6 to 9 micrometers, or it can be from 12 to 15 micrometers. So, and shape can be round and surrounded by a highly refractile membrane called cyst wall, and nucleus is your quadrinucleate. Clear and high lean cytoplasm is seen, and nuclear structure retains the characteristic of a trophozoite. Now, nextly, the last stage, uh, firstly, in a saline mounting, chromatid bodies are seen as round refractile balls, bars, and cis wall smooth and thin, and glycogen bars are not visible. So, outlines of nuclei may be visible. And upon iodine mounting, body of parasite, it will stain yellow to light brown, and nucleus is clearly seen with karyosome, and cytoplasm is smooth and highly in appearance, and glycogen mass will stain brown. Now, iron hematoxylin stain or chromatid body and nucleus stain jet black colored will be seen. So in also in iron hematoxylin stain cytoplasm, it will stain bluish or grayish, and glycogen mass will get dissolved in the process of staining and remain as vacuoles. Now, nextly, in your entamoeba coli, there is trophozoite stage. So large amoeba, 20 to 40 micrometer in diameter is seen. It will be sluggishly motile, and cytoplasm are not clearly defined. So opaque endoplasm packed with food vacuole with bacteria and others. So, but there'll be no RBC. So nuclear is visible in unstained preparation, and in stained preparation, nucleus shows large eccentric karyosome surrounded by broader halo and coarse chromatin granules lining your nuclear membrane. Now, nextly, cyst, it is 15 to 20 micrometer in diameter, having rounded body and octanucleate, and large glycogen mass in binucleate stage is seen, and chromatoid body, if present, they are slender filaments or pointed threads. So, and glycogen mass and chromatid bodies are absent in your mature cyst. Now, endo there is a next parasite is known as endo limax nana. So it is commensal in large intestine of man. So trophozoites are smaller in size, 8 to 9 micrometer in diameter. It is also sluggishly motile, and cytoplasmic inclusions, they contain bacteria and food particles but no RBs. Now nucleus has irregular karyosome, eccentric and in contact with your nuclear membrane. Now, nextly, there can be cysts. So cysts are oval, same size as trophozoites, and uh, Nuclei in 1 to 4 in number, and mature sets are quadrinucleate. Nextly, chromatoid bodies and glycogen mass are not seen. Um, Nextly, there can be so the trophozoites are or features are different in your E. histolytica and E. coli and in your E. nana. So so further, as a table or as a comparative study, I can tell you that E. histolytica has a size 18 into 60. E. coli has a size in micrometers, and E. coli has size 15 into 50 micrometers, and E. nana has size 6 into 12 micrometers. So if you do the comparative study, you can always be able to differentiate among these three parasites. So E. histolytica, their movement is basically actively progressive, and the movement of E. histolytica is always directional. But in case of E. coli, it's sluggish and not a directional. So it moves slowly and not in one direction. And for E. nana, the movement is sluggish, but it is progressive. Now, in E. histolytica, it has finger-shaped pseudopodia, and which is also clear and glass-like. Uh, Same in case of E. coli, it is a shorter, blunt, and less glass-like. So, and in case of E. nana, it's broader, blunt, and not glass-like. In case of E. histolytica, so the RBCs and inclusions such as RBCs are seen in cytoplasm and with no bacteria. And in case of E. coli, bacteria are seen, and crystals are there, and no RBCs are seen. Whereas in case of E. nana, numerous bacteria in cytoplasm and no RBCs are seen. In case of E. histolytica, nucleus is invisible in saline preparation, but in E. coli, nucleus is visible in your saline preparation, and in E. nana, it is nucleus is also visible in saline preparation, and in E. histolytica, nucleus is invisible in iodine preparation, which is visible in case of your E. coli and also in case of your E. nana, and nuclear membrane is delicate and minutely chromatic dots in a single layer on the inner surface are seen in case of E. histolytica, and E. coli thicker inner surface are lined by coarse chromatin dots, and in case of E. nana, so neither thick nor thin inner surface is seen, which rarely shows a chromatin. And in case of your E. histolytica, very small and centralized karyosomes are seen at the center of nucleus, and in case of E. coli, they are eccentrically large placed, and in E. nana, these are large, central, and eccentric. Nextly, there is a difference in shape of cyst of these three. So cyst in case of histolytica is 6 to 20, an average 7 to 15 micrometer in size. And in case of E. coli, it's 12 to 18 micrometer in size, and E. nana, it's 5 to 10 micrometer in size. And nucleus, same in case of E. histolytica, is 1 to 4 in number. E. coli is 1 to 8 in number, and in E. nana, nucleus is 1 to 4 in number. And again, karyosome, in case of cyst of histolytica, karyosome is central. In E. coli, it's eccentric, and in E. nana, it's large, eccentric, or central. Now, in E. histolytica, glycogen vacuoles are present in a uninucleate stage. And in case of E. coli, the cyst of E. coli, large and visible in binucleate stage, and in case of E. nana, it's not present. Same chromatid bodies or Chromatial bars are seen as round ends and thick in case of E. histolytica, and seen as filamentous thread and like with square or pointed ends in case of your E. coli, and not at all seen in your E. nana. Now, other and your amoebic species, which non-pathogenic amoebic species which can be seen are your Entamoeba gingivalis, your E. hartmanni, your blastocystic hominis. So different types of pathogens can be seen. So and one is your Balantidium coli. So these are your largest protozoal parasites. They are pig. Pig is the common reservoir of these type of parasites, and it is seen in your two stages, in your trophozoite state and your encysted stage. So its trophozoite stage is shows oval body, 60 to 70 micrometer in length and 40 to 50 micrometer in breadth, and body is covered with delicate pellicles showing longitudinal striations, and cilia are short and delicate of uniform length on mouth and are longer, called at dorsal cilia. So thin layer of ectoplasm and granular endoplasm is seen. Groove at the anterior end or peristome will lead to a mouth or cystome terminating at a short funnel-shaped gullet, and cystopharynx ending up to 1/3 of the body, and at the posterior part, permanent anus called cytophage is situated. So two nuclei, kidney-shaped macronucleus, round micronucleus is the concavity of micronucleus. So two contractile vacuoles and many food vacuoles can be seen. Now, cyst for this can be smaller than trophic, and which is 50 to 60 micrometer in diameter, and cytoplasm is granular containing macronucleus, micronucleus, and refractile body, and contractile vacuole can also be seen, and thick, transparent, and double layered wall is also seen. Now, uh, further, there is Giardia lamblia. So, rest parasites I'll be discussing in your next section. Until then, uh, if you have any doubts regarding CIS, physical examination, chemical examination, your CRAS, crystals, and parasites, which I've told you until now, then you can contact me. And until then, keep reading and take care.